That's right.
We still.
Well, I am here on behalf of the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution. I'm regent of the Choctawhatchee Bay chapter in Fort Walton Beach, and I've brought my vice regent, Carolyn Ketchel, with me, and she has a word.
Well, I'll just tell you a little bit about this. If you don't know, many of you told me that your mothers or sisters were members of the Daughters of the American Revolution. We honor all of you, and that's what we're about. Our patriots, our forefathers founded this country. Everybody that's a member has to have a patriot that fought for this country, and some of us have many. It is our honor to be with you today. As many of you know, one of our greatest works that we're doing here locally is filming our veterans, but especially our World War II veterans. And if you ever go out to the airport, Destin Fort Walton Beach Airport, you'll see on the wall a good movie about, Bud Day and some of those who've already gone before us, like Walt Richardson. And so it is our privilege to be with you today and honor you and thank you for your service to our country. God bless you.
Well said.
We have certificates from the National Society for our 4 World War II veterans here. And this certificate reads, excuse me, the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution, Choctawhatchee Bay chapter, joins a grateful nation to honor. First one is Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Lombardo. Want to take that over, please? He was United States Army in recognition of his valor, service, and sacrifice during World War II. Dated today and signed by the Regent of the Choctawhatchee Bay chapter. So I have a certificate for Lieutenant Colonel William McGowan, United States Air Force, for his service in World War II, and a certificate for Lieutenant Colonel John Beard. Now, Colonel Beard, I happen to know because we interviewed Colonel Beard, Lieutenant Colonel Beard, for the Library of Congress Veterans History Project. And he was in the United States Army Air Corps, had a fascinating career, and he was also in the United States Air Force. And we have a certificate for Corporal Charles, pronounce your name. Geiger. Corporal Charles Geiger. United States Army service in World War II. Thank you, gentlemen.
Caroline, I taught ROTC, and trust me, you ladies were always there every annual awards day, and without a doubt, you've always been there to support us. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amen.
Okay. And now the moment you guys have been waiting for. I got to tell you, for those of us that were here the day that Mike became a Crispy Warrior, it was an exciting day. We were in that room, and by the time that we ended the evening, or the morning, everybody that was in here was in there. Not one person, I think, left this place without getting a picture with the governor. So, with that said, there's not anything I have to say. Governor Mike.
First of all, I'm just honored to get to wear this shirt today. I cannot tell you what a thrill it is to be here, and especially to pay tribute to 4 honest-to-God American heroes.
Amen.
And all of us have come today to pay our respects and appreciation. But let me begin with just a word of thanks to Another Broken Egg for their great hospitality, their fantastic service. There's just superb food, and their support of every one of you who have served in uniform and their patriotism. It's refreshing to be able to patronize the business.
Amen.
Just just so you know, we've got a couple of cameras here from Trinity Broadcasting. I just started a new television show, 1st of October, on TVN. We do it out of Nashville. As soon as I'll leave here, I'm headed straight to the airport and on to Nashville. And we're taking video of this event, and it's going to be incorporated into a special Veterans Day appreciation show that we will air a week from this Saturday on the 11th. It will also air on the 12th. It airs on Trinity Broadcasting both Saturday and Sunday nights at 7 o'clock and again at 10 o'clock local time. You can also see it online, but if you have cable or satellite, you'll be able to find it. And the reason it's going to be there is because when I first became aware of some of the folks in Crispy Warriors, I realized that the stories that are represented in this room, and not just at this table, though certainly we'll honor these at this table, but everywhere in this room, are stories that every American ought to know, ought to appreciate. And if any American ever takes a knee, it ought not to be in protest of the anthem and the flag, but it ought to be in bowed humility before the men of this room who gave us our freedom.
Amen.
I owe my every breath of liberty to the people in this room.
Amen.
And it is not lost on me that the sacrifices that so many have made, and especially we call attention to these four gentlemen at the table today, they are the reason that we have a flag. They are the reason that we're able to sing the national anthem. They are the reason that we are able to enjoy the kind of freedom where we can criticize our government and we won't be in jail tonight as a result of it. We will not be shot on the streets by our own government for criticizing them. There aren't many people on the face of this planet who can honestly say that they live with that level of personal freedom. But we do, but not without great cost, extraordinary cost. We honor those today who made it through many battles, who, by the grace of God Himself, were able to return home to their families and their hometowns. But we also never want to forget that there have been literally hundreds of thousands of Americans who never came home, who never got to raise their families, see their daughters walk down the aisle in marriage, or to be able to see their children graduate from college, or to hold their grandchildren, because they missed those things so that we would be able to enjoy them. I cannot begin to express to you how overwhelmed I get when I think about what I owe to these who have given us our freedom. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of every American I'd want to be associated with, thank you. And if there are those who do not appreciate the freedom they have, who either take it for granted or even despise it for reasons that make no sense to me, then I only wish that they would one day have enough class and grace to be able to shine the shoes of those of you who have given us our freedom.
Well said.
So all of us say thank you. Thank
Amen.
you.
Amen. Amen.
You know, we tried to get these four guys. We were going to fly them up to Nashville and have them on the show in person. But, you know, they were, I think, a little afraid of flying. They figured they'd done enough flying in their lives. So we decided, to heck with that, we'll come here. And by the way, I appreciated very much the presentation, Sergeant Major, and also from the DAR. My wife is in the DAR. I would never be able to be a part of the DAR. Number one, I don't pass the physical. And the surgery required for me to do that would not be something I would probably entertain or enjoy. And the other reason is because you've got to have some kind of connection to really good people. And when I grew up, my dad always said, son, don't look very far up your family tree, because there's some stuff up there you don't need to see. And of course, that that made me curious, and I looked up there and found out the old man was right. There was some stuff up there. So I'm always grateful that my wife is able to claim some level of ancestry that is honorable enough to mention. Not all of us can say that that's the truth. This morning, just before I walked in, I got to talk to the more famous person in my family, my daughter.
Ah, yes. Amen.
What's funny now is I'm going to get shirts made that, in addition to Crispy Wars, it'll just say Sarah's dad. Because that's my new claim to fame. But I'm proud of her, not just because of where she works, what she does. I'm proud of her because I know how much she loves her country. And I know what a sense of gratitude she also has. And I would like to hope that somewhere along the way, as her mother and I raised her and her two brothers, we helped them to understand that living in America is an extraordinary privilege, never to be taken for granted, never to be just looked upon as if we deserve it, because we don't, and always to be mindful that but by the grace of God, we might be somewhere else, living in a far less desirable place. Today we honor 4 very special World War II veterans, people who have not only survived combat and the battles that kept us free, but have been able to survive, outlive, and outdo many people half their age. I'm astonished by that. You know, when I get to be around people that really are old geezers, it's kind of neat for me to be able to be a young guy in the group. It's rare that I sit at the table when I'm the youngest one there. I love it. I'm just thrilled to be able to be the kid over here. Because at my age, nobody's calling me that anymore. These men represent what heroes are.
Amen.
When a lot of young people are growing up, they put a picture or a poster of maybe an entertainer, a musician, maybe a sports figure on their wall, and they say, one day I'm going to be like that guy. That's okay. But I can honestly say that the people that we ought to have posters of in the rooms of every teenager in America are posters of Bill, Sam, and John, and Charlie.
Amen.
Because these are real heroes. These guys have done something well beyond entertain us. They've given us our very livelihoods. And today it is my special joy and privilege to be able to present to them these special trophies that represent appreciation from the Crispy Warriors, what they have done. This first one to Lieutenant Colonel Sam Lombardo, the Battle of the Bulge, true American hero. Sam.
Amen. Amen.
To Lieutenant Colonel John Beard, World War II bomber pilot. John Beard, I want to say thank you, sir. Thank you for your extraordinary service to us and for still being here and giving us the opportunity to say thank you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Charlie Geiger in the Battle of the Bulge. Again, World War II veteran. Charlie, it is a distinct privilege for me to present this to you with our heartfelt thanks for giving us our country. Thank you, sir.
Amen.
Lieutenant Colonel Bill McCowan, who holds the record of the most combat flight missions in the entire history of the United States of America, 697 combat missions. Let that sink in a minute, because it's unfathomable to me that anyone would survive that many combat missions, either from enemy aircraft, enemy ground fire, are simply the mechanical capacity of an airplane to fly that many times, flown by young men and worked on by young men who all of us would say in this room today, they were just kids. But those kids saved the world. They didn't just save America, they saved the world.
Amen.
The world. And Bill, for you to have flown that many combat missions in 3 wars, I think it's fair to say you've done your part.
Amen. We love you, Pop. Amen.
And there's a wonderful cake over here that I guess we'll tear into a little later. But Wesley, I want to say thanks to you and to all of the Crispy Warriors for giving me this extraordinary privilege just to associate with you, and especially these 4 World War II veterans. You know, I know what you were told about being corrected. That's not the greatest generation. But by golly, yes it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes it is. Yes, it is.
I do appreciate the fact that you were very kind and supportive of the fact that you found out you were the second choice. It was Sarah that we actually.
I don't blame you.
Now, guys, we got a special treat. John is the most unbelievable 99 next month.
Wow. Amen.
99 next month. He's going to give you a poem.
All right.
Sit here.
John?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I win.
Nobody doing that.
I win.
A clean one.
Possible. I walked into that county courthouse square, and on a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, "Your courthouse is sort of run down," and he said, "It'll still do for this small town." And I said, "That flagpole is leaning a bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it." He said, "Have a seat, Sonny," and I sat down. He said, "Is this the first time you've been to our little town?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, I don't like to brag, but we're rather fond of that ragged old flag. You see, it has a hole in it there. That happened when Washington was crossing the Delaware. And that rip, that happened down in New Orleans with Packingham and Jackson tugging at its seams. And it almost fell at the Alamo alongside the Texas flag, but it didn't though. And it got cut by a sword at Chancellorsville, cut again at Shiloh Hill. And then there was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg. You know, that south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, took a hole from a big Bertha gun. And it turned blood red in World War II. It hung low and limp before that one was through. And it was in Korea and Vietnam. It went where it was sent by Uncle Sam. And it waved from our ships on the briny foam. There's been times when some folks quit waving here back home. And in our own good land, it's been abused, it's been burned, dishonored, denied, and refused. And the very government of which it stands is scandalized throughout the land. Now, I know it's getting a little threadbare and it's wearing thin, but it's still in pretty good shape for the shape it's in. It's been through the fire before, and I'm sure it can stand a whole lot more. So we raise it up every morning, we bring it down at night, it never touches the ground, and we fold it up right. You know, on second thought, Sonny, I think I will brag, because I'm mighty damn proud of that ragged old flag.
Good job.
Folks, I believe our host has something for us.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. God bless you. And, you know, they got the saying, let's make America great again. These guys made it great the first time. Right?
Yeah, there you go. Well said. Well said.
Guys, I know without even asking him, because he's that good of a person, I know there'll be a number of you guys would like to get a picture with him, and we, luckily, we do have a little bit of time for that, Governor, okay? So, he hadn't had a chance to eat yet, but give him a few minutes to chow down, and then we'll try and set up some sort of a deal where you can get a picture with him. Really don't have anything else. The mic's open. Anybody in the crowd want to say something? Okay, well, enjoy your meal. Here, go ahead. Maggie.
Dusty, I got a question for the governor.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're filming this for the TV show?
Yes, sir.
Could you get some video of Westy saying he has nothing else to say?
It would be an Emmy-winning performance.